them, I mean, you got to stop these fires from coming in and, poisoning our air. Our air has been poisoned. I have a good relationship with Mark Carney, but, we got to stop the fires up there. If we can help them, we'll help them. Yeah, but maybe they should pay us some damages or something, or we should do some tariffs. But it was terrible. I mean, you had businesses closing. In particular, Michigan.
You got to remind President Trump that there's 3.9 million acres burning in the United States right now. And if we had resources, we would send them down to our closest friends and allies. So, something, rather than criticize and threaten Canada, your closest friends, maybe one day you're going to need our help like you did last year, and we deployed the people. I get frustrated just listening that bunch of rubbish.
Apparently, Captain Cheeto Head, Donald Trump, had asked Canada on Thursday, can we help go put out their fires in Idaho? Can you make your mind up, moron? You're asking us to put out our fires. You're going to try to take over our country. You're going to sanction us and all that other bullshit saying we're not taking care of our shit. But at the same time, you're saying, hey, can you send us down some people to help put out our fires? I think we got our own issues at the moment. If we had to spare crews, we probably would be there to help as Canadians. Not for you, Trump, but as Canadians to help citizens.
The US government made a request to the Canadian government to send help in tackling the wildfires in Idaho specifically. Specifically, the US government has asked for CL-415 skimmer air tankers, water bombers, super scoopers, to help the United States fight its fires in Idaho because the fires are out of control.
Just 2 days ago, the United States was asking for Canada to send more help to help put out their fires. And here we are today when Donald Trump is now saying that he's going to set 50% tariffs on Canada for trade. Does he want help or does he want a war? I guess these kind of moves are to be expected when your president was a game show host at one point.
Trump just effed around and found out with these tariffs to Canada because now Ontario in Canada, the premier there, is placing a 25% surcharge on all electricity that they export to 3 of our border states, Michigan, Minnesota, and New York. That's about $100 a month per customer, 1.5 million people at least. And guess what he is saying? He said he's not going to hesitate to raise the surcharge or even shut it off completely if Donald Trump keeps this up. Look, sometimes you play, you want to bluff or whatever, and sometimes people call your bluff and you end up losing like Donald Trump is, a loser right now. And guess what? So are the American people, because he's the one that's leading the country. He's the one that started this tariff BS. F around, find out. DJT.
I find it a shame the administration in the U.S. and Congress people writing these letters and blaming us and so on and so forth. They have a very short memory. We had the water bombers, everyone ready, going over to California. It was last year. We sent down hydro linemen down to the Carolinas and Georgia to help out. That's what neighbors do, right? You don't get on and start threatening and criticizing, because guess what? One day it's going to be your turn, and we're going to be down there without hesitation to support our neighbors, which we should be. But all the rhetoric going on there, and it's not from all Americans. I'll tell you, Americans love Canadians, and we Canadians love Americans. But to make the comments they did through the administration, unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to put a major tariff on Mexico because of the lettuce. And we're going to put a big tariff on Canada because of the smoke. All right? We'll get a comment. Which would you have, the lettuce or the smoke? I think I'll take the smoke.
Yeah, the smoke wrecked my daughter's swim meet.
Well, it's closed up a lot of countries. I've told Canada they have to do something about it. We've never had this problem. All of a sudden we have this problem with Canada.
The United States needs to decide what they want. Do they want a strong partner in Canada where we work together, or are they keen to go it alone? But there's not this middle road where you attack British Columbians on one hand, and the other hand you're digging up our metals and minerals and bringing them south of the border. We heard the news this week from the Americans about a direct attack again on forestry families in British Columbia, those that work with wood to make furniture, for example, to add value to our wood products. It's just inexplicable to me, because we had the American ambassador hold a mining roundtable meeting with mining companies, looking at opportunities to invest in mines in Canada to secure the metals and minerals that the United States needs. It can't be that is simultaneously the position of the U.S. and that Canada agrees with that. We can't have a country on one hand attacking one group of families and workers while hoping to have access to the resources in Canada that the rest of the world wants.
So finally, the reaction among Trump supporters and MAGA voices has become a major talking point. Some who normally defend Trump's toughest trade policies found themselves facing difficult questions, which is economic pressure the right tool when a neighboring country is dealing with a natural disaster? Or does a tariff strategy strengthen relationships? Or does it even create unnecessary division when cooperation is needed most? And then came the twist that many critics are calling a political reality check. And as wildfires continued threatening communities, the conversation shifted from tariffs and trade battles to something much more urgent: the need for assistance, the need for resources, and even cooperation. And so when wildfire emergencies hit home, the importance of working together became impossible to ignore. And so this is where critics began pointing out what they describe as a moment of irony. And the same kind of disaster that affects Canada can also affect American communities. And wildfires do not care about political parties. They don't care whether someone is Republican or Democrat. They demand firefighters. They demand resources, expertise, and even collaboration. The situation sparked a larger debate about leadership during times of crisis, and many people argued that true strength is not only about imposing penalties or showing power. It is also about knowing when cooperation benefits everyone. And so for years, Canada and the United States have shared one of the closest relationships in the world, and they have traded together. They defend their shared interests together, and even frequently assist each other during emergencies. And so that relationship has really survived disagreements between governments because the connection between ordinary people remains strong. And so there has been moments like this that test political decisions. And so supporters of Trump argue that tariffs are meant to protect American interests and even pressure other countries into making changes. However, they also believe that strong economic measures are necessary. Critics, on the other hand, argue that targeting an ally during a disaster creates unnecessary tension and even damages trust. And now the real question is, did the tariff decision create a political problem that could have been avoided? Because when disaster strikes, the conversation really changes, the slogans disappear, and even political battles become secondary. And what remains is the reality that neighboring countries often need each other. Whether someone supports Trump or opposes him, this situation highlights a bigger lesson about international relationships, cooperation, and it is even more important than competition.